Great. Well, thanks Tom for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
Brilliant to see you at Cherry Pie Music. So first of all, might just be good to just tell us a bit about Cherry Pie and your role and your partnership with Rock School.
Of course, yep. So Cherry Pie, we've been here since 2004, so 19 years, I believe that is. We're an independently run music school. We deal with one-to-one lessons for children and adults. We have in the region of 400 to 500 students a week coming here. Our relationship with Rock School began, I don't know the exact figure, but it's been quite a few years where we became an exam centre for you guys. And I use the syllabus quite a lot within the school for our pop instruments, our rock instruments, so guitar, pop vocals, drums, bass guitar. And that's
brilliant sounding. And maybe a bit about your own route into music.
Yeah, of course. So I started guitar very young and fell in love with electric guitar. And I was mainly self-taught, as there wasn't this kind of thing around in those days. I attended the Guitar Institute in Acton, in one of the first incarnations of contemporary music schools. And then I spent a year in Spain learning Spanish guitar. And since then I've studied jazz guitar, rock guitar, all sorts of kind of things, genres. I've worked as a session musician and a teacher for 20 years.
Brilliant, excellent, sounds great. And then obviously you're a public exam centre for RSL. So maybe a bit about how you kind of organise your exam day and the sort of benefits of that, being able to do that within the local area.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, being an exam centre is great for us in order, basically, to provide that for our own students is fantastic. So we can actually say to them, right, you can come in for lessons and you can actually sit your exam in this actual premises, which is very reassuring for them. Secondly, it actually draws in other people into our school. So people that don't know we exist, even for example, may come, see the school and think, wow, this is fantastic. And we will maybe get more students out of it from a selfish point of view. But it's also just great to be involved with Rock School and actually offering that service to the area, really.
Yeah. Brilliant. And then I guess with the current Rock School syllabuses and ISO syllabus that you currently teach, you mentioned sort of guitar, that you're doing drums, and how are your teachers finding the syllabuses and teaching that?
The syllabuses are very clearly laid out. I think that the biggest strength we find is that people love the pieces. I think they're very well chosen pieces. You've got the original Rock School tunes, and then you've got the hit tunes, and they cover a lot of different tastes. I find you've got the heavy rock, you've got the more pop, and I think that's just a really, really appealing thing. And to actually have to play with backing tracks as well is a very, very important part of it for me. Helps particularly guitarists stay in rhythm, because that's kind of a weakness they tend to have. And it's a very, very good concrete goal for them to achieve, and sort of a sort of measure of their progress.
And how do you find the sort of pieces, how they map against the sort of technical exercises and improvisation and those kind of things? I think you said you do some good sort of teacher training.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, it's. Some people try and avoid the technicals, because they try and do the performance grades. So they'll be doing 5 pieces rather than 3. The technicals for me are very important because it teaches obviously scales, which are fundamental to learning an instrument. And things such as sight reading, listening tests are all very, very important skills to make you a more rounded musician. So yeah, they're absolutely important to me, and I tend to really make sure that they're doing that rather than the 5 pieces, just for myself. So yeah, they're a great part of the exam.
Brilliant. And then I guess leading up to your exam days and that kind of thing, how do you kind of prepare your students? Do you do any things like mock exams, or how do you deal with the nerves and that?
Yeah. I mean, it's more my nerves than theirs actually. But, I do a mock exam with them. I use the companion guide quite a lot from Rock School, which is great for sort of dummy tests. Leading up to the actual day, what I'll do is literally a dry run. So I'll say, right, we've got a half an hour lesson. Let's just go for it. Exam conditions, 3 pieces. I'll run the technicals, I'll call out the scales, and I'll give you a rough estimate of how. And I actually quite like asking them to mark themselves. I'll say, well, actually, how would you mark your own performance? And then they'll actually say, well, I think I could have done this better. So, well, okay, you know that for the day now. So that's kind of my approach.
Yeah, brilliant. And then I guess how you kind of maybe market if you use the sort of editable flyers and that kind of thing, or reach out to your networks when you've got your exam dates. I guess people come to the venue to do their lessons as well. So it's a great thing to have within the area. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, it's something that we offer. It's on our website. We obviously tell our students when they first come here that they can actually do their exams here. And I think it's a big bonus for us to be able to offer that, as well as just feeling sort of part of that community is a nice thing for us as a school.
Yeah. And then I guess RSL Classical, which is one of our recent sort of brands which we have. We talked a bit about sort of the classical guitar syllabuses, flamenco pathway, classical violin, classical piano, which could potentially be of interest to senior teachers and students.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Obviously, sort of a lot of people know rock school for rock. It's really interesting to see the new syllabuses coming out, offering the more classical, but also kind of mixed with contemporary as well. So it looks like a more modern approach from what I'm looking at. I'll definitely be showing it to our classical teachers here and gauging their interest in it. Obviously, it's a new branch for you guys. I think it's very exciting. Yeah.
And then also digital exams as well. Have you put any of your students through digital
exams? I did. Yeah. During lockdown, obviously, face to face was more tricky. So a lot of them did do the sort of performance grade online, which I believe went well. It was a great way to keep them going throughout the whole lockdown and actually motivate them. I think a lot of children particularly got demotivated during that time. It's hard to carry on. Online exams became a nice little lifeline, I think, to carry on playing and actually give them a goal. So yeah, that was very, very useful. I mean, I think it's a lovely thing to have if you can't make it for a face-to-face or for whatever reason that's not for you.
Yeah, and tell me a bit about any events you do at Cherry Pine with the choir as well.
Yeah, we have a very popular choir here. I can't remember the number of people we've got in it now, but it's at least 30 people. They perform regularly in choir competitions. They do the Christmas lights at Trafalgar Square. Wow. They actually have done a tour of New York, which was very exciting. So we all went out there and they performed in the Empire State Building and various other places. So they're looking at their next international tour, which is fantastic. Amateur choir, but they have a brilliant time. So that's lots of things to come for them.
Excellent. And I guess a bit like student performances as well.
We do student concerts. They're coming back now after COVID, which is very exciting. So we do age category concerts. So we start with young children, teenagers, adults as well. And actually we do use RSL a bit for that because a lot of the children with the backing track, it's a great way to perform a concert. So we have that on the PA system and they play along with that. So that's a great thing to have.
Great.
As well. So.
Brilliant. Finally, so what's next for Cherry Pine this year?
Yeah.
For the new year ahead?
Absolutely. It's a sort of a clean start. Hopefully no more lockdowns. So yeah, we're just excited to be back doing what we do, having face-to-face lessons again. Looking forward to sort of expanding our own brand as much as possible and just delivering what we love doing, which is music lessons and helping people achieve their goals, really. So,
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you. Yeah, good to meet you. All right. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.